What's happening, YouTube and the internet? Terrence here, and we're still back, we're back inside the lab. Things are a little different. In the middle of what's called a relocation, but rest assured we're going to carry on with the content and wrap up with the final video here of 2022 to kind of discuss the future of PC gaming and some things we should come to expect as we move on into the new year, and of course fill you in with a few more channel updates. But with that out of the way, I still want to welcome you that if this is your first time here, click the subscribe button down there below with the notification bell on so you can catch all of that juicy, upcoming PC gaming 2022 content that's going to roll out as the new year progresses, and of course as we continue our channel member program and start our call and show for channel members, which I wanted to give a quick shout out to our channel members. Thank you for supporting the channel and still supporting the content during this delicate transition that I am starting to segue into here. But we did come off of a holiday break, right around the big holiday season here in the States, where we also did a couple live streams, which still continue to pick up a lot of traction and a lot of steam, as although it's targeted to consumers during the holiday season, still has a lot of valuable content. So I also welcome you to check that content out down in the description box below. But PC gaming as a future, it still looks to be a bit bleak, right? Like even to this day, like even right now, graphics cards are still hard to find at MSRP, or we are essentially getting paper launches, which also keep a lookout for CES 2022. I'm going to do a video on that coming up as well with some of my CES 2022 predictions. But if we see any new hardware launches, like in the form of new graphics cards or in the form of new CPUs, they too will essentially be paper launches, because the silicon shortage or the techdemic still continues to rear its ugly head into the new year, into the 2022, with Intel and Nvidia and AMD both themselves seeing no immediate end, at least towards the end of towards the end of the year 2022. But for those of you who are familiar with the content around here and the overall mission and message of this channel, and that is, that there is still tons of value left over in the used market. That's one of the areas that I want to focus more in going into the new year, right? Getting back to that hidden value that's over in the used market, because even if graphics cards are slightly, and when I say slightly, I still mean upward to like 30% over on the used market, but sometimes you can carve out a deal and find a good seller. But I recommend you check out Facebook Marketplace, of course, for your regional deals. And if you really want to take advantage of availability in terms of value, of course check out eBay to see if you can maybe snag a seller that's bidding on at least a 9 series or a 7 series NVIDIA graphics card, or at least a 300 series AMD equivalent. And of course you can also take advantage of that new used price to performance by buying, supplementing your budget for your system by either buying a case or a PSU even, and sometimes in some scenarios you can get a good bundle deal when a seller is trying to sell both the CPU and the motherboard at the same time, and maybe they would even lower the price a little bit just to sell it off a little bit quicker. Now what you can do is then take that leftover capital from your budget and then invest in a better graphics card, even if that is again paying somewhere of the in between the $500 to $600 range. That's at least a GTX 1660 or maybe even a GTX 980 Ti for slightly lower. And then of course the deals don't just stop with like CPUs and motherboards, and sometimes you can even find RAM at a slightly lower price, right? Depending on the configuration, whether that's 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes. But you can also come across deals on like monitors and keyboards and mice. It really depends on how saturated the used market is in your area, and of course prices may vary depending on where you are located on this side of the globe. But again, if you're a first-time viewer, tell me down in the comment section where you watch it from. And then of course we still have a little bit of hope for pre-builds. At the time of this recording, you still will find yourself paying a little over $1,200 for a competent pre-build PC, but it is a quicker but slightly more expensive route towards getting into PC gaming. But do know it is still very much possible as we go into the year 2022. you can still either build yourself a capable gaming PC with a budget of between 8 to 1,000 USD. Again, hear me out. You have to take advantage of your deals where you can, but a good PC with a dedicated graphics card will run you at least over 1,000 USD. That's even with a pre-built PC from say like Amazon, or going with one from Best Buy, or even going with a system integrator like the NZXT's BLD service, which we talk about that a lot during our live shows. The live show is put on a temporary hiatus as I continue to iron out the kinks in between this transition and just trying to set up the network and other equipment in the new studio, which I will keep channel members updated throughout the process. And of course, follow me on social media to also keep up with some of the different changes and some of the different content strategies that we're going to implement for the year 2022. Because while things like prices and availability may change, here's one thing that's not going to change, fam, and that is the content strategy or the content mission here, and that is enabling PC users to make that transition or to make that switch from, say, gaming on consoles to getting into PC gaming for the first time, or even upgrading their system to enhance their experience and get more from their games, or get more or to increase their productivity flow. That's still very much the core content strategy going into the year 2022. The live stream will also, or the just live experience here on the channel, will continue to improve and grow, as well as we're in season 2 of the live experience. And then with the upcoming channel membership show, which is going to be called the Live XE, which is the live Inside the Labs live extended experience. And that's going to be where channel members can call into the show, come up on screen and share their thoughts or share their ideas with some of the industry pain points or some of their woes they have as a PC gamer, and of course engage with the viewers, who will still be able to participate in the chat, and of course share with your friends and comment even after the live stream ends. And if that's something you're interested in being a part of, then check out the channel membership join button, which is either going to be in a pinned comment or at the top of the description box below. So do be sure to check back frequently between the community tab posts if YouTube's not serving them up to you in your feed, to stay updated with the different updates. But to stay up to date with some of the different schedule changes, and when the live experience will officially return, and of course when the members only live extended experience show will begin. But most importantly, what does PC gaming look like for us going into the year 2022? And I'm gonna tell you this, fam. I think it looks the same exact way it did in the beginning of the year 2021, and also towards the back end of the year 2020, when the GPU techdemic officially kind of spiraled out of control. And we are here, and then we find ourselves where we are here today, with the dream becoming a nightmare, if you will, as graphics cards are available, especially along the higher end. It's just that you're going to pay up to 60 to 70% more for that graphics card. And that's at MSRP. But that shouldn't necessarily stop us, and I say us, I mean the community, and continue to inform and educate new users who are still, apprehensive about making the switch to get into PC gaming, because they say, well, PC gaming is too expensive. Well, here's the deal, fam. PC gaming has always been more expensive to the alternative. It's just that it costs more now than ever. And now you have to really ask yourself, is that worth it to you? Is that worth, paying over $1,000 total for your setup? That's your monitor, your keyboard, your mouse, your whole entire setup, paying upward of, at least 1,500 USD. Is that worth it for your experience? You first start with the type of games you want to play, your monitor, your resolution and refresh rate, and of course, how much money you have to work with. Those 3 factors will be the biggest, or will contribute to your decision if PC gaming is worth it to you. If you're new here to the channel and you would say, well, Lab, I ask you, is it worth it? Like, if you were to ask me, I say it's worthwhile. It's worth saving up, it's worth researching, it's worth doing your due diligence to make sure that you are building, or you are buying, right? If you're going with a pre-built, or you're going with a custom pre-built from a system integrator, or you're working with a local system integrator, right? Because there are, men and women like myself who build PCs for a living. If that's something you're also interested in, you can find my contact info in my About Me description right here, or on our website, InsideTheLab.net, which is also in the description box. There's like a a load of links down in the description box that can help you either get started on your journey or answer any lingering questions that you may not have even thought of before you start this journey into playing games on the PC. In terms of the content, well, again, that's not changing, fam. That's not going anywhere. So again, I welcome you to subscribe if you haven't yet, because while we are in the middle of relocating the studio, there were some delays in between and some sudden unexpected things to pop up in between there. So I took advantage of the upcoming holiday break to just kind of reset and, you know, get back into the groove of just creating content while also being in the middle of relocating the studio, moving on my equipment and gear and what have you. But you know, the content will continue to change. Some things may look different for for a little while, but again, these are just temporary temporary solutions, I guess, for a long time problem or a long time issue. And I guess that long time issue is trying to expand on the space I use to create content, not just say where I do my work on custom builds and just doing most of the labor aspects of this field or this industry, but also where I do my editing and where I record and my lighting and different things of that nature. So I want to improve upon those things by increasing the space. It was the one variable where I told myself, what can I change that can either allow me to create content more consistently, because that's important, to being a successful, I can't say that word, being a successful creator on this platform. And that's being consistent with your content, even if that means just putting out one piece of content a week in terms of video with supplemental content in between, sort of like what I do on the community tab with post or different I'll show you different stills from videos that you may have not seen in the video itself, different content like that still very much blends within the overall concept of, say, producing videos. So yeah, while there are a different couple of videos scheduled up to be released here in the following year, some of them revolving around CES and of course addressing the silicon shortage here, it's becoming more and more irrelevant to create build videos unless it's presented to you in a very compelling way. And so when we will do build projects, you will be notified, at least on the community tab, or I'll do like just a surprise series, if you will, on a particular build or on a particular hardware. But with new GPUs being so hard to find, I'm more inclined to turn my attentions toward the used market once again to help new gamers either enhance their PC experience or get into PC gaming altogether. And that's why, again, some of the aesthetics may change. The content is very much going to remain the same. And I welcome you to, again, subscribe here to the Inside the Lab channel if you're interested in PC gaming and, of course, all things related. So with that out of the way, thanks for giving this one a watch. I do want to wish you a happy new year, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Be easy.